I kind of feel I can sum up all this passion about place that I feel by simply saying that home has a smell, and you know that. Home has a smell. It's sensual. You know when you're home. When we used to get off the airplane in the 70s and 80s, bringing our children home to visit, I could smell the air and the ocean and the woods, and I was home. We always came fleeing, sort of, although we liked Ontario and Quebec very much, but there we were coming from hot asphalt and smog and fumes, and we had been watching acres and acres of orchards be ripped up, and farms, heritage farms, turned into big box stores. We felt, and 2-lane roads becoming 6-lane interchanges, and we felt smothered, so we came home. And I didn't understand until I'd been here a few years that what we were witnessing there and what we are experiencing here are flip sides of the same coin, which is simply the transformation of place into commodity. And it all comes down to the same thing. Because I believe sense of place isn't a frill. I think it's who we are. And I think a strong sense of place gives us the confidence and the ability to move forward. I think boundaries are important to us, and they sustain us and help us to grow. And I think without it, we won't survive this onslaught of globalization that's doing so much harm, I think. My home village is Paradise. Names are everything. It's a former Acadian village. It was known as Paradis Terrestre, or sometimes in the original Paradise pun, it was called Au bout du monde, which means the end of the world, because it was the easternmost Acadian settlement. So it was the furthest east. We don't exist to serve someone else. We have a passionate sense of our heritage in Paradise. Some of us have lived there for 8 or 9 generations, as I have most of the time, and some for only 2 years. And you heard the story of how we came. And when we came back, everything had changed. And we watched the last businesses in Paradise close, we thought, but there were things we didn't know. But I'd walk past the homes which had once been my grandparents and my uncles and my aunts and my cousins and my friends, and I didn't know a soul in those homes. The good news is I soon did. And we entered the community, and they welcomed us so strongly. Joined the organizations, whatever was going to help. And we soon discovered it was a wonderful place. There was lots and lots going on there. The biggest issue within the community was the conversion of the rail bed into a trail. And most of the community were really struggling very deeply with that. They wanted a quiet green space for active, healthy living because they saw it was a higher value trail, and also because it was more respectful to their homes, which were right along the trail. It was a hard struggle, and it was a very difficult struggle. What we did was to form a society, the Paradise Active Healthy Living Society, to formally apply to build this trail that we saw in our minds. We had the vision of it. We knew it was right. We applied for permission. We were refused after first being given permission, and we were so upset. We took the government to court. Paradise took the government to court. We lost. It was devastating. It was absolutely devastating because we thought the courts were there to protect us, and they weren't. But from that defeat, we snatched, I think, a greater victory. We learned a lot. We learned so much about how large central government and those silo bureaucracies block the needs of community and the things that should be happening. And that's good to learn because we saw right inside the workings of the bureaucratic mind, and it is not pretty, I can tell you. But what we did do was we said, all right, we have 2 things here we have to build on. We have to build on our spirit, and we have to build on our strength. And I'm proud to tell you that we won the Community Spirit Award last year. And in terms of our strength, we decided we would do that through what we came together to be, which was active living. So we walked together, we hired our own fitness instructor and trained her and started our own fitness classes. We have programs for young mothers so they can learn to cook healthy foods and their kids can have active play. In the meantime, we led the Winter Activity Challenge this year in average hours. We've done all kinds of amazing things, and we are excited to tell you that we have been chosen as one of the 3 finalists of 37 in the province for the $10,000 Doctors Nova Scotia Strive Award. Now, we may not win, but we're 250 little people, and we are one of the top 3 promoting health in the province. How does promoting health parlay itself? I don't know. But I know that my grandparents and my great-grandparents were actively involved in the cooperative movement. I know that my father started from nothing a very, very successful business that employed many people in the valley. I know my sister's an almost famous artist. I know that in our communities there's something there, and I believe it is still there, that can be reinvented and reshaped and reformed to create new visions, because I'm old family and I'm come from away both. And I understand both cultures. And I believe that both those cultures can work together. And I think that if we figure out how to do that, we can reshape these amazing strengths that we have into new economies. And I think creative economies is the word. So I don't know what we do fits. I hope it does.